Alrighty, so here is my little tiny work on double pointed needles. Hopefully the green is bright enough that you can see these stitches here. They're already on, and I've joined this work quite some time ago. So here I'll just show you really quickly the difference between knit versus purl. Now it's basically the same as when you're knitting. The only thing to remember is that when you're working a flat piece and you do only knit, you'll get garter stitch, which doesn't look at all like this. This is stockinette. But when you do knit only knit stitch on a circular piece, you get stockinette. So this is completely knit in knit stitch rather than doing every second row a purl row. That's one of the reasons why I actually really enjoy knitting in the round and on double pointed knitting needles, is you don't have to fuss with a purl row in between each row for stockinette. So if I take this work and I begin working a purl row after this, you'll get to see that now I'll be knitting garter. Here, I'll just finish off this row. So this is the beginning of my row because this is my tail here. So if I start knitting a purl row after my knit rows, I'll start getting a ridge, like a garter ridge. So essentially, when you compare knitting in the round versus flat knitting, it's sort of the opposite when you're referring to stockinette or garter. So if instructions tell you to knit in the round in stockinette stitch, as many instructions will, you'll want to remember that you're not going to do any purl rows. If you add purl rows every second row, you're going to end up with garter stitch. Now, right now it's only a ridge because it's only one row, but if I continue doing a knit and then a purl, a knit and then a purl, it'll be garter. So that's the difference there between the knit and the purl. When you compare things like ribbing, knit and purl basically work the same as flat work because they're compared side by side, not row to row. So, and I'll show you that in the next segment.